called Greenwood, and the people who killed our people is still alive.
Right.
So,
right. And I was going to say, that's the first ever that the USA has had an airstrike, was that date, because they were dropping bombs they were dropping barrel bombs, fire bombs out of planes onto this community at the same time as the police were complicit. They created this whole vacuum. They switched off the telecommunication systems, so there was nobody was able to call out. 12,000 people were removed. 300 people were killed, and they tried to say that it was a race riot. So if you're a good guy, why are you going to Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is essentially the white supremacist holy grail of victories? That's what it is. Let's call it for what it is. They love that. Now, what is happening as a result of that? On the lead up to that, they're lynching motherfuckers every day because they're sacrificing people.
Facts.
Time.
Exactly.
100 years.
So the bloodletting ritual has not stopped since they started it. The over participation of Black melanated bodies who are not necessarily, they're being guided by paid actors, they're being guided by double agents, they're being guided by agendas, they're being guided by a group who gets activated to come out to only deal with reactionary topics. They only come out to deal with Black cadavers, meaning Black lynchings. There were groups who historically were known to do that. So they're still playing by the same playbook. They're not on offense. They are famously the defense players of the year. Black Lives Matter. They are the defensive players of the year, right? Because they're not huh?
I was gonna say, Rev fucking Al Sharpton, Rev Jesse Jackson, these coons always come out at these times. Like, you don't see them the rest of the year, and then you just see them come out in their regalia, like, yeah, we're ready to talk about the sacrifice and the injustice, yada yada yada. How is it that the Pope comes to New York and Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, who are the most famous Black preachers, don't get invited to when the Pope comes to New York? Yeah, they're supposed to be Christian. These people are being played. They're full of shit. And the other thing I want to go deeper into is that what happened with Black Lives Matter, and this is why somebody from Black Lives Matter needs to call me before I start trashing them, like really trashing them, going into it, is how is it that the LGBTQ community, right, which is white, right, and white people community, Black people don't benefit from that community. All the corporations a few years ago signed up to that community. They started putting that Takeshi 6ix9ine flag everywhere. And you can't stop seeing that flag everywhere.
Yep.
Right. And we know where the Black Lives Matter chapter is held. We don't know the physical buildings that they own. We don't know where it was founded, but we always see all of this propaganda. Now you have, this is the real symbology, and this is what I'm going to get into now, is now so in ancient Rome, where they used to send the homosexuals and they used to send the queers, was a place called Capitol Hill, right? And I'm not saying I got anything against homosexuals or I got anything against queers. This is just facts, right? So just before Rome fell, they used to send these guys up to a place called Capitol Hill in Rome. That's where the orgies happened. That's where the politicians went up and they made their sacrifices and they were having homosexual sex. Now the head of politics in the USA is called Capitol Hill, right? Now Capitol Hill is in the state of Washington. Washington was founded on 2 states. What was it founded on? Virginia and Maryland. Virgin Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland.
Right. Virgin Maryland. All of this shit is controlled by the Vatican. And now what you have is you have this LGBTQ flag, and in the center of it, you have a Black Power fist. So now the Black Power fist, or the Black Power revolution, is being sacrificed in the middle of a LGBTQ. And that's what we need to talk about, because it's not Black people that control the LGBTQ movement. Yes, in our Black communities, we need to speak about homophobia and people being persecuted because of their sexuality. But what we don't need to do is we don't need to lose sight of Black revolution, right? Because we're
Right.
trying every single time to talk about Black lives matter, trans lives matter, gay lives matter. It's like, okay, cool. So I want to see the factual information as to who is benefiting from this Black Lives Matter movement. Who are the paid actors? Who is getting all this money? We know George Soros is funding it. Who's getting this money? Because it's not the Black community getting this money. It's the LGBTQ spokespeople that is getting this money. And every single time LGBTQ wins, Black people don't win. White people win, because the same LGBTQ funding and movements for their parades and the grants and the loans that they're getting is going into gentrifying whose areas? Black areas. There's no like we in West Hollywood, that area got made into a gay area. But just like Compton, there were people in that area. Now Black people can't afford to live in that area no more.
Yeah. Shit. That's Brooklyn for your ass. Same thing happened in Brooklyn. Right? There's the same thing that happened in BK. So common sense would say that there would be an institution erected. There would be, where is the Black Lives Matter hackathon? Yeah, we know about Black Girls Code. Where is the Black Lives Matter University? Where is the Black Lives Matter Accelerator? Where is the Black Lives Matter Incubator? Where is the Black Lives Matter Startups? Where is the Black Lives Matter Startup City? Where is the Black Lives Matter Meetup? Where is the Black Lives Matter Think Tank? What is the Black Lives Matter book list? Who are the Black Lives Matter master teachers? What are the Black Lives Matter? Give me the lineage, give me the list of the people who the Black Lives Matter say that they're standing on their shoulders. Give me something. We don't ask for anything, so we get nothing. But we need to understand that these people are on defense. And if they were really for the people, this is the thing. Sister named Toyin, she would still be with us. Why? Where is your security, armed, private, firm, that you have budget for since they killed Trayvon or Mike Brown? So how is it that you have never allocated and you never advocated for a budget to have an armed group of men and women from both law enforcement and the military who could have been like, oh, Toyin said that she's missing? Well, while y'all go and y'all march, we have a private security firm that goes and finds Black girls because they're magic, but they don't care about y'all. So y'all need to stop playing because they don't put on for Black women. Black Lives Matter is a Black men cadaver phallic worship organization. Every single angle of them. The white women who they call the Beckys, they worship Black phallus. The white men who are out there marching, they worship Black phallus. The Black women, they worship Black phallus. And who am I missing? I think I covered it all. The Black man.
The gay Black men.
I'm saying that Black Lives Matter movement on what they initially stand for on that side. It is a phallic worship. It is a man worship. ISIS, right? On the east, which was over on the other side, was the they demoned or the besmirchment or the devalue and the debasement of the holy name ISIS, which was what? It was a European, it was Osset, the temple of Osset, but in Europe, the temple of Isis was the divine feminine, right? So they threw that away with the fake group called ISIS. Then over here with Black Lives Matter, and I already explained it. If you look at the etymology, if you just look at the word magic of Black Lives Matter, Black lives and matter. Matter is what? Matter is life. Black life is matter. Black life matter will be black sperm. Black sperm can only come from the black phallus. Okay? Black life matters. Our life matters, but our life, right? We could paint we could paint mad houses. You know how they said on Irishman that they was here to paint houses? Well, with black matter, the fear of a black planet and the fear of a black Amor Messiah, and what they fear in our scrotum sacs is our black matter, because our black matter is the response, is why there's called a browning of America right now. Our black matter is why the European is pushing back. It's called blowback. They're fighting for their women, bro. They're going to war for their women. They're going to war for Becky and Karen. All of these groups.
Look what happens. Whenever Karen picks up that phone, who comes? The police to come and sacrifice black men on behalf of fucking Karen.
That's right. So I'm still working on the chart that has all of the receipts, because I'm going to show when they had barbecue Becky, all of these permit patties, whatever these cute names y'all gave them, there was a murder that preceded it. And the murder is what switched the energy. They get caught out there. It's something called white fragility. If you stay on their necks for 8 minutes and 26 seconds, you will break you might break the whole neck of the system. So when the fragility begins to set in, they sacrifice one of you and throw the energy off. That's how you cannot corner them. Go and study the 10 commandments of white fragility and stop calling it what it's not. The superior, if
it's not white supremacy.
You cannot be supreme if you're not genetically supreme. Supremacy don't act like that. Supremacy does not act like they are afraid. Look at this, Shaka. Let me just show you how we don't even realize how they got us. If 10 of us decided that we wanted to gather get on a corner of any USA county, country, city, or town, and we say, you know what, we want to take our shirt off, right? And we want to just walk through the streets. It's 10 of us. We're going to be flexing. We're going to be laughing. We're going to play music. We're going to drink. We're going to eat some of the fruits that you got, the Fruity Tunes. And guess what will happen? This is to show you that you are in a cage. This is to show you that you are a vassal. You are a vassal of the state. You are a minor in the state. You are a fucking child. They will call the police on you if 10 of you gather. So if 100 of us gathered, they might call the SWATs. Why? Because subliminally and subconsciously, ever since they started putting it on the books, because when we used to come together, we had this energy to us. We created an energy field. You see it when you go to Africa. You see it when you go to Jamaica. You see it when you go to these all black countries where people are walking in groups of wild black people. The shit feels foreign because you can't do it in America. Why? Because they created these acts where niggas can't come together. So what does that say subconsciously? I would never want to unite with my brothers because I know that that's against the law. So just me wanting to see 1 million of us, there's something, the nigga will pop up. The colored man, you know, that voice that pops up, the fucking Jeffro Bodine, you know, the Kente, huh?
The black. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, we have a virus. We have a defunct motherfucker who pops up. He's like a white supremacy virus or he's malware, and he's like, nigga, you can't get 1 million of you can't come together.
Imagine, remember the Chappelle show?
That
pop
nigga,
up on your shoulder, like
he got in trouble for exposing that. Yeah, him, the nigga who was on Chappelle's shoulders. He's like, no, 100 of y'all. Why? You know that there's gonna be problems with that man. You know, Master don't like y'all to get together like that. Why would you want to be amongst 100 of y'all? What y'all gonna do? Where y'all going? and it's going to be a bunch of niggas that's going to be all in our business, and they're going to think that we're up to no good. Why can't we, in our inalienable rights, this should be our first request. Niggas talking about they want to ask for shit. Why don't you simply ask the right to fucking gather? Get that out the way. You don't even have that right yet.
Civil rights.
People realize
civil
that.
Rights.
Yeah, you don't have the right to gather, my nigga. And the Europeans who showed up exercising their Second Amendment right in Michigan, in Virginia, and in other places, they were armed to the teeth, right? The other fucking day. And what was it about? It was about the fact that they didn't want to wear a mask, Chaka. It was about they wanted to get outside their house. And they came armed to the teeth.
They wanted to have the right to gather. I said they wanted to have the right to gather. The same time we did that the last time, armed to the teeth, they brought in laws in Oakland against machine guns. When the Panthers turned up, they was like, oh shit, niggas got machine guns. You guys are not allowed to have machine guns because we are scared of you. And then it goes back to the whole, we're scared of the black phallus. Tulsa, Oklahoma, when they sacrificed that brother, which was sacrificing the black phallus to sacrifice a whole city. Look at what they did. And this is genetic inferiority complex. Look at what they did whenever they would sacrifice a black man. These black men were always wearing suits because they were business owners. So back in those days,
they were big willies.
Right. Back in those days, when they wanted to gentrify an area or gentrify a shop, what they would do is they would start lynching black people, hanging them up, cutting off their phalluses and their testicles and putting them in their mouths. And usually the excuse for that was that he tried to rape a white woman, right? Karen, again.
It was always sexually infused. All of the lynchings are sexually infused. They all have sexual connotations to them. And it's always involving their woman. And it results in your death. And not just your death, the carving up of you, the chopping up of you, the shooting up of you in front of thousands of them. And then they put you in mason jars. So my thing is this, Shaka, how could black people say that they have allies? Did the allies show up to the marches armed to the teeth? Did any of the allies show up with the same guns that they had in Michigan and in Richmond, Virginia?
No.
So you have no.
This is why.
Yeah, these niggas don't got no allies.
Liberals aren't our friends because they're not sharing the wealth. They're not sharing the wealth and they're not sharing the security. They know that they'll be protected by the police. They know we won't be protected by the police. So when they come into our hoods and they're marching, they're preaching to the choir. Go into the white racist areas with the people who have guns and go and march there. Don't be out here marching where we're marching in our hoods. I swear some of them just come into the hoods to see which houses they're going to gentrify. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them because they don't share the privilege, they don't share the power, and they security. So we've seen where Europeans are getting protected by the police. We've seen it where we're about to get lynched by the police, and then a European will jump in front of us, and the police will not touch the European, but they'll touch us. So it's like you're not really out here sharing that power. What you're doing, and this is what happened in UK with the 1976 Race Relations Act, where basically there was the same boycotts in the UK as there was in the USA. In Bristol, there was a bus boycott, which was the same Montgomery bus boycott, but in Bristol, in the UK, there was a bus boycott because what was called the colour bar, where Europeans weren't employing us. So we said, all right, cool, fuck your buses. We're going to walk. And we walked for a long time. Like we walked for months and months and months. And they had to start hiring us. Then what happened was they passed an act called the 1970 Race Relations Act, which was discriminating against. But the problem with that is that when they said, all right, cool, you can't discriminate against any people. That's what they said. It's beautiful, man. You can't Marcus Garvey.
Yeah.
You can't discriminate against any people. What they also passed is a law which said that you can't pro-discriminate for people. So the people, they just ignored the housing issues. All they said, all this law changed is that black people could go into public spaces, right? But what happened at the same time, that the Indians, the Chinese, the Koreans, Pakistanis, many different people came and all said, well, we're black too. So they stopped getting discriminated. They divided them amongst all these groups, then they threw it in there, then they threw in the disabled people, they threw in the gay people. So now the black movement, and this was in the 70s in the UK, is now washed out because there's one direction for it anymore. And now it's like, we just don't discriminate against anyone. Same time, these liberals are acting like they're our friends, but they're not our friends because they're not sharing the power and the work. And that's what I said to people, and I've been saying to people, and I've never not said to people that integration killed us. Integration killed us. When we did our best, when we integrated, it killed us. And even if you've got to segregate and risk having your village, having your community burnt to the ground, like John Africa did in the Move 9 organization, because the second time was 5 or 1986. When they dropped a bomb, they dropped dynamite out of a helicopter in Philadelphia and blew up a whole block. There's the only two times, apart from Pearl Harbor, they're the only two times that bombs have been dropped on U.S. soil by, by an enemy to us. But they're the only times that bombs have. Look at the martial law. The only times that martial law has been called in the USA was around World War II, Pearl Harbor, around that time. And the other time it was called was when in Alabama, when they were trying to stop black people from marching for their civil rights. They called the fucking National Guard on, right? What are they ready to do right? Call the National Guard on people for the same shit. So I'm people, look, there's land in North America. I've seen how you're doing your thing, how 19 Keys is doing his thing, how Blue Pill is doing his thing. Motherfuckers got to get some of that land, got to start segregating, having your own farms, having your own. This is what I say, and this is when I'm waiting for them to call me, because if they don't call me, I'm gonna drag them. Where's their fucking schools? Where's their farms? Where are their institutions of protection? Where's their security companies? Where is their rifles? If you are having our people go out in the street and say, hands up, don't shoot, while they're being shot in the face, they're being brutalized for protesting police brutality, they're being shot in the face, motherfuckers are losing eyes out here so that you can just say that we matter, then I don't care. You are my enemy. You are a black fucking traitor. You're getting my people and putting them out in harm's way. To say to these people that the best thing that they can do is lie down and turn the other fucking cheek. Fuck that.
Let me share one thing.
That shit.
Yeah, this is how I know it's an op. I put the articles out that said Israel trained every single police department that has illegally killed our people since 2012, right? It's clear as day that they have a hand in it. And as a result of that, there's a huge conflict of interest, and it involves the entertainment industry, the news media, and it goes all the way to the highest ranks of the liberal party, bro, right? And
it's the cabal. The Jews own that. Soros is a Jew. They own that shit.
What I'm saying is that, and this goes all the way back to our brothers in Ethiopia, where it is 2012, right? And the events that are taking place right now resonate highly with the whole Coptic, cosmology. I got a lecture coming up on the 25th called American Gods Part 4. I'm on my 4th part. I'm going in. The link in the bio, y'all. It's a Zoom lecture. It's not for YouTube. We can't talk about these things on these people's platforms. Even Zoom is suspect, but we going in. All right. So we're gonna explain how this thing has levels to it. There's layers to this. It's not just surface. It's not just one thing. We are in 2020. We are experiencing what is known as quantum reality, where it ain't just about up and down or left and right. It's all of that at once. Some things, there's going to be a day and time where your right is somebody else's wrong. And that is the time that we are in right now, especially with PC culture and things of that nature, you know. But it's
Look,
undeniable at this point that we've been infiltrated. It happened in the 60s. Remember, we're repeating cycles. The 60s was counterculture. Counterculture is, the 60s was the Supreme Court with the LBGT. The 60s was the open sex, where you basically a hookup, getting some box was like snapping your fingers. That's where we at right now. This is counter revolution. This is counterculture, huh?
the end the war in Vietnam was
In the
happening.
war in
That whole movement
Vietnam,
was
so
happening.
it's in the war with the Middle East. There's an opiate crisis. There was an opiate crisis back then. There's a pandemic. There was a pandemic back then. There's civil unrest. There was civil unrest back then. There's all of these quote unquote concessions to civil rights people. There was concessions in civil rights. There's assassinations. There's assassinations now. So we are repeating a cycle that hasn't been disrupted, to whereas it could be broken. For everybody talking about breaking the cycle, well, what about breaking the coon cycle? What about breaking the sellout cycle? What about breaking this goddamn this motherfucking they playing a Madden from Madden fucking 2020. They doing plays on us, you know what I mean? Shotgun Hail Marys and whatnot, and we keep falling for the same shit. Because here it goes. It's almost 1,000 of us right now. And when we're really ready to make things happen, we're gonna take advantage of the now. We're not gonna be saying, yo, catch me down the line 8 months from now, nigga, I'm gonna be lit. No, we're gonna be like, yo, 1,000 of us are ready to move right now. I'm gonna go live on the land. It's nothing. I'm gonna go live on the acreage. I'm gonna have it with a drone, because they got the technology now where you could go live from your drone, right? Yeah, you could go live. You could hook the drone up to your live. So I'll go live and just let the drone show you the acres. My name is Moreland. That's my duty, to show the people more land. I stood over estates that my family. I'm talking about standing on top of a mountain and looking down on the valley of another mountain. That was in St. John's. It opened up my whole mind to abundance. So the word of the day is abundance. The fact that we're not thinking in scarcity, the fact that we're not thinking small scale anymore, the fact that we're not thinking on no little levels. We're thinking global. We're thinking infinity. We're thinking abundance. Bro, I got a video on my page where I was in New Jersey. I went into a factory. They had boxes as far as the eyes can see, filled up with merchandise. Look, this is just a little bit of that shit. These is just like little merchandise, right? Pakistan, made in Pakistan, China, right? All of this abundance, all of this cotton that our people have picked. We got to take control of that shit. That's our shit. We got to go globally and get our shit back, because people are benefiting off of everything that has something to do with us. So if we come together, put our egos to the side, put our differences to the side, elect those amongst us who we feel are qualified, be democratic, because we can't have chaos, right? Because that's what Negroes low-key are waiting for. They're waiting for this shit to go off the chain. They're waiting for it to crash, because they thrive in that chaos. But what I'm saying, that ain't you niggas had enough chaos? This is month 6 of this fucking great adventure, right? So we can focus on order now. And the order is that there's enough of us to form a council. We could return a reward system, meaning that if you do something that's blacktastic, you will get rewarded. If somebody went and found Sister Toyin, there was $1 million reward for her. Why don't Black Lives Matter get down with our reward system? You know what I'm saying? So instead of shaming them, we're gonna shame them with the clean glass of water. We're gonna bring the rodents out. We're going to show you pest control by creating the clean glass and then pointing out what the fuck these people have not done for 80 years. Because it's not just them. They are the Bunyan of the NAACP. You understand? They're the fucking corn of push of the Rainbow Coalition. They're an outgrowth.
Right. And really, as you said, these people, they're just symptoms of a greater problem. And the greater problem is, as I was saying before, the cabal, the banking dynasties that own all the fucking land, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, all of the Planned Parenthood, and these motherfuckers. Bill Gates right now, he started Family Planning 2020 in Africa right now. His dad was the head of Planned Parenthood in the USA. Now they got Family Planning 2020 in Africa. They're sterilizing women in Uganda today. You know, Israel, when women get to Israel and they're Ethiopian or they're Eritrean and they're Sudanese and they get to Israel, they're getting sterilized with something called Depo-Provera, which is stopping them from being able to reproduce, stopping them from being able to get life. And we're like, oh, you know, the only that is important is the Black American experience. What about what's going on in Brazil? There was 177 people killed in April alone. One house raid, they killed 13 motherfuckers.
Yo, Queen Diambi, right? Because they queened her in Congo Square, and they also brought her into Brazil, and she got queen down there. She told us that about 70 black boys die a day in Brazil at the hand. Look at Bolsonaro. Look at their president right now. Look at what he's doing. He is called a Trump of Brazil, y'all. Y'all have to look into our people. They are slaughtering melanated, copper tone, aboriginal, indigenous Africans on that in Brazil. They need us in those favelas. They need that light. Those Afro-Brazilians have been they've been subjected. They've been subjected, right? And they're influenced by the worst parts of us sometimes, right? They know about the gangster rap and all of that other stuff. They know about G-Unit, but it's important that we begin to show a better image, because the world is being affected by our conversation, our demonstration, and our lack thereof to stand up like the gods and the goddesses that we've been sent here to be. It's cutting off. So leave your,
I'll just say this to end. Right now, we are being sacrificed left, right, and center as part of a cabal, as what has been going on for a long time. Just like when Bush landed on that ship and he said that we carried out mission Shock and Awe, which was just the Shekinah, which is just another sacrifice. They're carrying plates. There is no, but his mission was called Shock and Awe. Nobody thought Shock and Awe, Shekinah. They don't know the stories. Maybe they don't know the templates that these people. But where are our kings standing up? And like, you have all these gangster rappers talking about, I'm going to kill this, kill that, kill that. Go and kill the people who are killing our queens. Don't talk to me about you're going to kill your brother. We ain't interested in any of that shit no more. The gangsters have been real silent during this time. Real quiet. Because I think that they just work for the CIA.
That you've seen enough. You've seen what you needed to see. Yo, I'm tapping out. I'm going to tap back in with you tomorrow, Chaka, Love and Light. Peace to the family. Go hit that link in the description in the bio. All right. And tap in. I'll see y'all in South Carolina. I'll be in Atlanta this whole weekend. Peace.